Oh, we're starting. Oh, I forgot to do something. Let me turn on my lights real quick. Ah, there we go. Now you can see me a little bit better. Perfect. Okay, well, excited to be here. It is day 8. Can you believe it that day 8 is already here, that we're already 8 days into this thing? It feels like we just started. Anyway, yeah, time is kind of flying by here. Before you know it, we'll be halfway through. Day 15 is coming up, sure enough. I also left a little note for myself today to unmute so I wouldn't forget, since I keep forgetting every time, it seems like. Probably not every time, I know, but it's a lot. Anyway, I'm excited to be here. I'm having a much better day than yesterday. I didn't get any snacks, but that's okay. I actually had them in the fridge. I just forgot to grab them. But regardless, I'm here. I'm ready to go, and hopefully you are too. So leave me drop me a line in the chat. I'll keep an eye on that as we're going through. And maybe, oops, it looks like my thing here is a little off. Whoop. Camera's a little off there, but got that fixed. And yeah, I think we're good to go. I think we're good to get rolling here. Maybe while I'm waiting for you guys in the chat there, if anyone is going to drop anything in there, I will switch over to my Scrivener view here and we'll take a peek. So I did, believe it or not, this time have a chance to actually come in and work on a few things before we met today. Nothing really big in terms of like writing or anything, but a little bit of prep work. And I'm pretty excited about that and pretty happy about that. One thing that happened with this specific draft here, or this project, is actually I took it in from my Epic Fantasy template. Maybe I'll show that real quick. I don't have it here. It's on my old computer. I forgot. I have to add that in here. But it's a template I made, and if you've seen my webinars in the past, you've seen that template, and some of you probably actually have that template and are using it. Regardless, I normally have that, and it has all my custom metadata and everything set up in that. And so I decided to recreate that custom metadata for this specific project. It didn't take too long, thankfully. I didn't want to move things out of this project because I specifically moved stuff in for NaNoWriMo and everything. And I kind of had it all set up just how I liked it, so I didn't want to mess with it too much. So I decided I'm just going to slowly evolve this, and probably at some point this will be my NaNoWriMo template, right? The one that I use for every single NaNoWriMo in the foreseeable future, as long as I'm actually doing it. And probably the one I'll actually end up sharing with you guys down the road. So there we go. Looking good there so far. Let's see. Excuse me. Sorry. So just to show you what I did, maybe we'll make my inspector a little bit bigger. We have here a setting, which is literally just a text box, right? Where I can just quickly type in the setting, what's going on in a specific scene or chapter that I may be working on. This percentage is kind of an old thing where it essentially allows me to, I can calculate out the percentages of the novel based from Act 1 to Act 3 and just kind of see from 0 to 100% where am I at in terms of how many words I'm planning to have, where should this be in the story. It's nothing like really easy. I actually kind of have to do the math and figure that out. I decided to keep it in. I was going to remove it, and I thought, no, let me keep it, because at some point when I'm coming through draft 2, I'm going to want to be able to make those calculations and kind of see what that is. I like to be able to see the percentage as it kind of goes through. And sometimes it's just a guesstimation. I kind of just guess based on how many words and how far along it is in the story. And I like having that because it also helps me know, are my beats kind of lining up where they should be in the story? Are they kind of in the general zone of what is, common for a good structure, for a good structure, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then we have my plot beats. This is probably the biggest one I wanted to get in here. I wanted to have my plot beats assigned. One thing I'll have to come and do is actually create collections based on the beats that I have here. No beat assigned, multi-beat, etc., all the way down to my epilogue or final image, right? So that's not, I have those there. You may notice a few extra things that aren't in the actual save the cat thing. Like I use a prologue and an epilogue in addition to an opening image and a final image. I do differentiate between those two. They're kind of, they can kind of basically serve the same thing. I just like to identify this is my prologue, whereas an opening image may be an opening image for a specific character, right? It may not necessarily always be a prologue. While a prologue typically almost is an opening image, right? It's not an opening image. It isn't necessarily a prologue, and so that's kind of why I differentiate between those. And there are certain folders and things that are multiple beats, and so I'll use that to keep track of multiple beats to say, hey, inside this folder there are multiple beats and things like that. And of course, last but not least, I added a little due date here. This is more useful, I think, when I'm also in draft 2 or draft 3, so on and so forth, when I'm working out and I want to have set a clear deadline of when I want to have some things done. But in this case, if I wanted to do it for the draft, right, I would come over here. Let's go to Command 3 or Control 3 if you're on the PC, and that's going to take me over into my outliner here. And actually, for the book itself, right, I can close that up. I can come here and say, hey, currently this is due, right? Draft 1 is due November 30th, so I want to have that done then. And I can even come here and add those in so I can see that. So I usually like to have it kind of arranged in a particular order. I turn off some things I don't need. I don't need section type. I do want to keep status. And we'll move that over. I like that I can kind of move these around to wherever I need them to be, right? I'll probably adjust my statuses too. That's another thing I like to do. Looking good. Point of view is okay. That can stay. And I might do multi-point of view if it ends up being a multi-point view novel, right? I could have my plot beats in here too. I don't typically have those over here on the right, but probably like right here on the left. You usually have them here right here on the right. So that's looking good so far. I like that. I like that. And so then I also have my total word count, my total targets, right, based on what I have in my total words. So the targets I have and the actual word count I have are varying quite significantly. And that's okay with me right now. I will probably go through and change some of that up. One thing I probably do want to do real quick, last thing, before I get started here, is actually come down into my templates and make sure that these chapters and targets and things all have no beat assigned, because that is true for them, honestly, at this point. All of these, oh, some of that, yeah. Actually, you know what, yeah, all of these, let's see if there's anything in there. There's nothing in there. All of these should have no beat assigned in their custom metadata like that. So we're going to right-click that. We're going to go to, I'm going to come in here and select all those. Then we're going to click right-click and go to plot beats and click no beat assigned. That way, okay, when I'm actually going about creating these guys here, right, creating this stuff, it already has no beat assigned. And the reason why I want to do that, in fact, to just show you real quick, we're going to come through here and do the same thing, make sure that these all have it, because once again, it doesn't apply it to existing templates and things I've created. It only applies it to what do you call it, to new stuff, new documents that are created from those templates. Now I come here and add that there, and then what I can do is I can actually come up here, I can select plot beats, right, and I can search for no beat assigned, right, and I think what I want to do, I actually want to have it as exact phrase. Okay, no beat assigned, exactly. So it gets me just that, that's it. It just gets me those that actually have that beat assigned there, right, okay. And then I can go ahead and save that search as a collection, the no beat assigned collection. And what that means is now, as I'm creating new documents and folders from my templates and things like that, it's going to be very clear what chapters and documents don't have beats assigned and what do. And so maybe I do have some beats assigned, like for an opening image and for Act 1, Act 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all the way down, right? That would be easy for me to come and click this collection, find those, and then go ahead and assign the correct beats to those things. Right now, it's not too big of a deal, but one last thing. Actually, this one right here, right, the beat should actually be Act 1. This should be Act 2A, and this should be Act 2B, and this should be Act 3. So we fixed that, and once again, same up here. This will be relevant. That'll make it easier for different books. I can right-click these guys and also go ahead and change them to, oh, I can't do it each one. I have to do one at a time because they're not the same. Right-click, plot B, Act 1A, plot beat, 2A. And as you know, these are probably these parts, right? Act 1, Act 2, B, etc., are going to change. I tend to split up into more and more parts as I go. to be. But for now, this is a good structure to start out with when I'm beginning. There we go. Now it's all set up. No beats assigned. Yeah, looks good. Plot beats. We're excluding trash. Excluding templates. That's good. Yep. Everything looks fine. Yep, I think we're good here. Yep. Okay. So we'll go with that. And of course, I can make more collections based off of my other beats here, right? I can and I will eventually, but I'm not going to do that right now because it's time to write. It's time to get into it and time to get some writing and work done. And so I think we're just going to do probably just do one, what do you call it? One session today, primarily because it looks like nobody could make it. That's okay. That's okay. Each of us have our days, and it's tricky. We go up and down, and we all have our challenges. In the beginning of the today, to be honest, even though I'm feeling really good right now, I was not wanting to do this. I was like, why did I commit to this thing? Why am I doing this? And I think we all kind of face that when we come, especially to something as challenging as writing every single day and trying to write a novel in a month, which is an insane thing to do. I might add, it's a lot of work, but it can be done. And honestly, for me, the main, even though getting that 50,000 words is awesome, for me, it's more about having the consistency, the willingness and the ability to say, hey, I can do hard things, I can buckle down, and I can get the writing done. So there we go. I think we're going to go ahead and get started here. And we'll switch over to our 20-minute timer for today. And of course, if you're watching this in post, you can feel free to skip past all that stuff and jump right to the timer if you want, or if you want to watch it, that's great too. It's all good stuff, all things, great things to know. But I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to get my timer pulled up here and then try to synchronize these as I get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's write. There goes our timer. Whew. Here, let's stop that. I'm just wrapping up here real quick. Give me just a second, and I will be ready to roll here. I got in the zone, and so I'm not quite ready yet. Come on, there we go. Oops, take that back. Okay, there we go. One last thing to do, and then we will get our timer started and kind of see how we did here. Where are you? Sorry, I normally do this in like the last few minutes, but like I said, I was making some good progress and didn't want to stop. Okay, well, let's start a 5-minute countdown timer here and kind of see where we're at. Okay, there let's start a 5-minute. And so I am at, oh wow, exactly 1,667 words. What are the odds of that? I mean, really, that is insane. Actually, to be fair, that's for this specific document, and that's not for my target stuff. So let's see what I actually did. 938 words. That's pretty dang good. That's pretty dang good. Not my best, but definitely really, really good. I'd really like to get over 1,000. If I can get over 1,000, I'm pretty happy. But it's been pretty consistent. Let me see here what my not statistics. Let's go with writing history and see if that's matching up. I'm kind of curious. Yep. So it is on the same today. I'm not sure why that was off yesterday. So we're at 938 words. And let's look at this. It's going to give me an average per day. As you can see right now, I just want months only real quick. And so I'm selecting specifically November. I'm currently averaging in draft per day 953 words, which is pretty good. So if at 953 words, you multiply that by 30, I'm going to end up somewhere, if I maintain this pace, right? 2,590 words, which is, okay, let's do some more math, okay? Minus 50,000 is about 21,000 short of my goal. So I got to pick it up if I really want to make this happen, right? I got to do more. And so I guess when I'm looking at that and seeing where I'm at right now, what's going on there, I don't want that to happen. So I think the best thing to do is to do another session today. I wasn't going to. I've been feeling a lot of weight because I've got a lot of stuff going on. Mostly next week. Starting this Friday, I have an event, a small group session. And then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday next week, I have events. Actually, yes, I mean every day, every next week, multiple events. So I have one on Monday, one on Tuesday. Actually, not counting the live streams that I'm doing with you guys. I got one on Monday, one on Tuesday. What do you call it? I have one on Wednesday, then on Friday I have two more. I think Thursday's my only day next week where I don't have an event, and I do because I get to write with you guys, which is great. So basically, busy, 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 and so I think since I'm really only getting writing done during these live streams, it's going to be really critical that I take as much time as I can, right? That we take as much time as we can to get this done. Now, hopefully, if you're watching these, you can either watch it again, right, or watch a previous one and get another session in, or heck, just do it on your own. That's cool too. But really, I'd like to. I need. For me to be successful for this one, I'm going to have to work a little bit harder and do a bit more. So we're at we're about 1 minute 55 seconds and counting until we're at the end of this break. Normally, I would go get something to drink real quick. Let's close this out real quick and see what's going on there. Okay, let's look real quick. So if we did 1,667 times 8, I need to be at about 13,000 words. And so let's do the math and see how far behind I am. Minus 7,780. So I need to write about 5,556 words, or according to Scrivener, 1,876 words per day so far. And of course, that fluctuates as I get more done, right? So let's aim. I'm going to aim to do one more session, and I'm going to try to double what I did. I'm going to try to go from 938 to that 1,800. Okay, we got 56 seconds left, and then we're going to get started here. I'm going to get my timer ready to roll. So far, I'm doing pretty good on keeping myself unmuted, right? I mean, I know there's no one here to check on me, but I'm looking pretty good. Looking pretty good here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple things. First off, I'm gonna move this over here, make that a bit smaller. One thing you might consider doing is using the composition mode here. Okay, that's super handy. I like typewriter mode, right? So if you just want to focus on and get work done, this is a great place to do it without any distractions. But I'm going to come in here. I actually don't mind working in this zone either. Either way is fine with me, mostly because I like to have data available to me. I enjoy that. And so one thing I want to do is I want to come up here. I saw in this specific scene, I wanted to write that the setting was Rotona Ridge. Okay, well, our time is up there. Let's go ahead and start our next session. Okay, time is up. I'm ready to roll. Hopefully you are too. Hopefully you grabbed a drink or something, right? I don't know, whatever. You got yourself some snacks. You stood up. You took a break. All that jazz, whatever it is, and now you're ready to roll. To some degree, I should probably do that too. And I think really quickly while we're going through our timer this time, I'm probably just gonna go grab a drink of water real quick. So let's get started, and I'm gonna count you off. 3, 2, 1. Oh, go. There goes our timer. Give me 1 second. We'll be right on it here. Where is it? Oops. 1, 2. Okay. Well, how'd you do? That is the question. Stop the timer there. Take 5 minutes and see how we did. Hopefully you did well. Made some good progress. Take 5 minutes and see how we did. Oh. Hopefully you did well. Made some good progress. Well, let me see here what we got. I'm at 2,705 words so far, and that puts me at... Oh, it's right here in the corner the whole time. Oh, well over my target. Wait, that doesn't seem right. Oh, let me check. Well over my target. Wait, that doesn't seem right. Writing history. Let's look at the days. Yeah, so not quite that much. I think I cut and paste some stuff around a little bit, and so that may have overinflated that number there. So I'm really at 1,976 words. So if this is ever not looking quite right, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't write 2,705 words. This is accurate, right? So I did pretty well. Even my target seems different. That's so weird. But I wrote 1,976 words, so that is more than what I needed to do today, and it definitely got me caught up a little bit, you know. So, truthfully, I still need to do more, but let's reset that. But that puts me down currently 1,790 words. If I was writing today, tomorrow it's probably going to bounce back up to 1,800. But 100 words over is still good news for me. That's putting me in the right direction. If you may recall from earlier, I'll probably have to even go watch this myself and see what the math was there. I don't want to do it again. I think I needed somewhere about 13,000 words, right? So I'm at 8,000 words right now. I need about 13,000. I probably could do another session or two just like this and kind of bolster that number a little bit more and a little bit more if I really wanted to get on top of it. So that's the best I've done so far. That's my best session to date. November 8th, and that's because we did 2 sessions today. I think it was similar with this on the 6th, and also because I'm kind of in the zone today. Like, I'm really been feeling it. I'm excited about this story. I really like where it's going, and I'm really focusing also on quantity over quality. I'm not like normally I go back and like clean things up a little bit, cut out things here to make sure that everything makes sense. I don't really care about that. I'm not worried about that at all. In fact, I'm just getting words. In fact, if I ended up more than 50,000 words at the end of the month because I'm just putting words out there and I have to come back through and draft 2 and really cut, I don't mind that because I like the editing process. I enjoy doing that. That's for me where a lot of fun is. So some things I should probably do real quick. We're going to close this out. Is I should probably come here and add in some keywords. I'm going to show my keywords here. Let's just go to show project keywords. And some I didn't have. What we're going to have here is Shard. We had Garrett. I feel like it should be 2 T's. I'm doing 1 T. I'm going to do 2 T's. Garrett. What do you call it? Shardlow. And then his brother Caden. Shardlow, right? And once again, they are, I don't know, they're somewhere here. I'm going to consider them supporting for now too. And I'm actually going to go ahead. So far, all 3 of these characters are in the scene, so I want to track it in there like that. I don't know if I mentioned Lilia, but I don't have her actually in the scene, I don't think. It's just Caden and Lionel and Reese. So I think we'll go with that. And so once again, it's going to be a lot easier for me if I just do this now. I probably will at some point come read through it again and be like, hey, let me, as I'm cleaning up, that's one thing I'll do as I'm cleaning up. I'll add that to my editing process. I'll come and make sure that each character that is in the scene has a keyword and has been assigned to it. And the reason behind that, of course, is so I can keep track of those characters and see where they're appearing and so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't know. So we mentioned Lilia here. So what do you think? Do you think I should include her there, even though, because she's mentioned? You know what? I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and add her in too. Yeah, Brienne. I'm going to go ahead and add her in. It's once again, it's easier. It's going to be really easy for me to take her out that it would be to add her back in. And of course, I know I could do like a find and search and find her name and stuff like that, but I just love having the collection there and just being saying, hey, these characters are in these scenes, right? And I can create that collection. And just to give you an example of what that might look like, I would come to keywords. I would search for Lilia Brand, right? And probably would do exact phrase again, right? And then I would create that, what do you call it? That collection. And we could just call it Lilia Brand. And we'd have that collection available to me right there at the top. And I'll probably keep those kind of up there out of the way. And I can move these around anywhere I want to, but for now we're just gonna leave it like that. Okay. Looking good. Really, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna go ahead and assign these as setup, just for the sake of it, because that's really all these are right now. Setup, just for the sake of it, because that's really all it is. It's just setup stuff right now. Of course, like I said, I'll probably cannibalize these and change a lot of this later. But really, right now, I'm just kind of creating setup. Setup is all has everything to do with establishing the world, establishing your characters, getting the main points of the plot that kind of get us going, right? That kind of stuff. That's what that setup is all about. So that's fine. And then now if I came here to no beats assigned, you can see those have been removed. And if I wanted to, I could come and also create another collection. We call this one, oops, let's come here. Let's do setup. There we go. There we go. We can go to save collection as setup, right? And the main thing I want to be doing as I'm doing this is kind of put these in order. I like to have the beats in order from start to finish. Right, so I can easily see that structure. Eventually, I'll have it looking something like this. This is how my collection should look. No beat assigned. Probably, I have had these in the past. I probably won't. I might add the multi-beats in. We'll see. I'll definitely have the prologue all the way down to the epilogue, or at the very least, from the opening image all the way down to the final image. A collection for each one, right? That's how I will do that. Excuse me. Anyway. Well, it's looking good. I'm really happy with what I did today. This is great. 8,818 words. Well, it's looking good. Almost there. We'll say, I guess I'll do the math again. Times 8, 13, 6, right? And we minus that, minus now 8818. So I'm only 4,518 words behind. That's not bad. If I did a couple more sessions today, I probably could knock that out of the park. But I'm gonna stick with Scrivener. I'm gonna try to meet my daily target each day or exceed it. I think that's gonna be my main thing. Rather than trying to get all those words at once, right? I'm going to try to exceed my daily target. So tomorrow it's gonna be like 1,800 and something. I'm gonna try to do that 1,900 again. 1,900, 1,000 every day, a little bit, 1,900 until I can get that down to a reasonable rate. Maybe even just aim for that 2,000 word mark might be good. Just aiming for 2,000 words, 3 sessions, 2,000 words per session. That's what? That's what, like 660 words a session if I do 3 sessions? That's not bad. That's reasonable, especially if I did 3 sessions and I'm doing about 900 words a session. Of course, I'm doing well today, but even on my low days, I was doing about 600 words, right? I could easily get that 2,000 words in. That's totally reasonable. Okay, well, let me see here what we got going on. Last but not least. Okay, well, I just want to thank you for joining me. Whether you were able to attend live or if you're watching later, I just want to say I really appreciate it. And while this live stream right now is ending for today, I can't wait to meet with you tomorrow for day 9. It's going to be awesome. And so just keep on writing. Keep moving forward. Don't give up. We got this. We're going to make it to the end of the month, and we're going to get that 50K. Or if we don't get that 50K, we're going to get really close. And like I said, a win, if you write it all, a win is a win. I don't care if you miss a day. I don't care if you miss a week. I don't care if you start with me and you come to the very last day. That's fine. You made it. You here. That's great. Even if you're watching this later, let's say you decide, hey, I'm just going to do NaNoWriMo in December instead of November. That's okay. Follow me along from start to finish, from day 1 all the way to day 30. You don't have to do it in November. You can do this anytime. November just happens to be the month where we are all kind of doing it together. So there you go. I'm gonna leave it at that. Just keep on clacking those keys on the keyboard, and I will catch you next time. See ya. Just keep on